Hello viewers, I am Manoranjan Burman and you are watching my YouTube channel Medical Lab. Do you know your blood group? If you know your blood group, then you can mention in the comment section below. If you have ever needed a blood transfusion or you have donated blood, then you probably would have been asked for your blood type. While it was once thought that blood from every person was same, but do you know different person has different blood types? So these are known as blood groups. So different individual will have different blood groups. Today I am going to talk about blood groups. According to the International Society for Blood Transfusion, there are around 33 blood group systems. Among all the blood group systems, ABO and Rh blood group systems are immunologically significant. It is very important to know your blood groups before blood transfusion. Blood transfusion between different blood groups may be damaging to the blood cells of the recipient, or it might be fatal or deadly. So before any blood transfusion, it is important to know the blood types of donor and the recipient so that there should not be any harsh reaction. So before blood transfusion, it is important to know the blood groups of donor and the recipient so that the blood transfusion will be safe. Please keep watching the video till the end. What happened before the discovery of ABO and Rh blood group system? In 1967, animal blood was transfused to human because they believed that animal blood is purer than the human blood. Due to man's irregularities in eating, drinking, etc. Or they thought like, if man could use animal milk as nutrient, then animal blood would be safe. But there was a harsh reaction and some fatal conditions were observed. Then this type of practices were banned. After being banned for more than 150 years, the use of blood transfusion was revived during 18th century. Blood from human to human was practiced. But after transfusion, some people faced some hemolytic reactions, some people died, but some people survived. Now we are going to talk about discovery of ABO blood group system. Before 1901, there was a belief that all the human bloods were same. However, this concept changed in 1901 with the discovery of ABO blood group system by Australian immunologist Karl Landsteiner. Landsteiner got Nobel Prize in 1930 for the discovery of ABO blood group system. Landsteiner noticed that human blood mixed in test tubes with other specimen of human bloods were sometimes results in agglutination or clumping. By incubating red cells from one individual and serum from some other individual, he identified agglutination patterns and leading to the initial identification of three blood groups, that is blood group A, B and O. A fourth blood group AB was identified by two of Landsteiner's former students. Now talking about discovery of Rh blood group system. Rh blood group was discovered in 1940. Although ABO was a major discovery in the transfusion medicine, but ABO blood group typing was not sufficient to prevent many fatal reactions like hemolytic transfusion reaction. There was a case of post-transfusion hemolysis. A patient with O blood group receives blood from her O group husband, and there were some post-transfusion hemolysis. Then her serum was incubated with her husband's red cells and found agglutination. Additionally, the women's serum was mixed with 104 samples with ABO compatible blood separately. And after mixing this, they found that out of 104 samples, 80 samples showed agglutination. There were some offending antibodies in the women's blood. that is reacting with the donor's blood and causing agglutination. The name of the offending antibody came from parallel experiments conducted by Karl Landsteiner and Alex Weiner, in which blood from a rhesus monkey was introduced into rabbits and guinea pigs, which results in production of antibodies, which caused the red cell agglutination in 85% of the humans tested. Those individuals whose red cells were agglutinated by these antibodies were classified as rhesus positive or Rh positive, or you can say Rh antigen is present or antigen D is present. After discovery of Rh antigen or Rh factor, it was proved that the Rh antibodies are the main cause of serious hemolytic disease of newborn or erythroblastosis fetalis. Now we are going to talk about ABO blood group system. There are 4 blood groups under ABO blood group system. Those are blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB and blood group O. The blood types defined by the presence or absence of 2 red blood cell antigens, that is antigen A and antigen B. Suppose the structure of antigen A is this and B is this. These structures I am showing you for your better understanding. Now look carefully. If you have A blood group, then you will have A antigen on your red cell membrane like this. If you are B blood group individual, then you will have this B antigen on your red cell membrane like this. If you are AB blood group individual, then you will have both A and B antigen on your red cell membrane. This is the A antigen, this is the B antigen. If your blood group is O, then there is neither A antigen nor B antigen on your red cell membrane. So these are the antigens on the red cell membrane. On the other hand, there will be naturally occurring antibodies on the plasma or serum of an individual. The naturally occurring antibodies are antibody A and antibody B. I am showing this structure for your better understanding. This is not the actual structure, so keep in mind. Now let's have a look. These are the blood types. This is the antigen on the red cell membrane, antibody in plasma or serum. So if we talk about blood group A, blood group A has antigen A on their red cell membrane, but in their serum it has anti-B antibody. The same antigen and antibody cannot exist in the same individual. Next, talking about blood group B. A B blood group individual will have B antigen on their red cell membrane, and on the other hand they will have anti-A antibody in their plasma or serum. Now talking about AB blood group individual. If your blood group is AB, then you have antigen A and antigen B. Both A and B antigen is there on your red cell membrane. But in your serum, you will not have antibody A or antibody B. Means both the naturally occurring antibodies are absent. In the case of O blood group individual will not have antigen A, will not have antigen B on their red cell membrane. They will neither A nor B antigen are there in the O blood group individual. But on the other hand, in their serum or plasma, they will contain both the naturally occurring antibody, that is anti-A antibody and anti-B antibody. Please try to remember this table. It is going to help you. Always remember that if corresponding antigen and antibodies are there together, then they will bind and neutralize and results in agglutination or clumping, and eventually it can lead to hemolysis. Suppose this is antigen A, this is antibody A. So these are corresponding antigen and antibody, you can say antigen A and antibody A. it is a red cell of A blood group individual. It has A antigen on the red cell membrane. If A antibody will be there together, so this corresponding antibody will bind with this corresponding antigen. That is, A antibody will bind with the A antigen. Now let's see here. This is RBC of A blood group individual which has A antigen. Now these A antibodies are binding with the A antigen. After binding the corresponding antigen and antibody, it will result in agglutination or clumping, and eventually it will result in hemolysis. This one. Successful blood transfusion depends on ensuring the compatibility of the blood types between the donor and the recipient. If the recipient has antibodies to the infused red cells, then these red cells will be rapidly destroyed and it will result a deadly hemolytic transfusion reaction. Now the question is, which blood group is safe to transfuse? Let me ask you, which blood group is universal donor? Your answer will be blood group O. If I ask you which blood group is universal recipient, then your answer will be AB blood group. Now I will talk about the universal donor recipient concept. We will take donor in this column, and in this row we are taking the recipient. We will check the compatibility. First we are going to take A blood group as a donor blood group. We will see what happens when we transfuse A blood group to different blood groups like A, B, AB and O. First we are going to transfuse this A blood group into a blood group. That means donor is A and recipient is also A blood group. So if you transfuse this A blood group into this A blood group individual, this A blood group individual has A antigen on their red cell membrane. In the plasma they have B antibody. So now let's transfuse. So this A is transfused here and it has A antigen, and on the other side antibody B is there. So B antibody will not bind with A antigen. So this A blood group is safe to transfuse to a blood group individual. Now let's come to the table. A blood group can donate blood to A blood group. Now we are taking B blood group as a recipient. So B blood group has B antigen on their red cell membrane and it has A antibody on their plasma. So once the A blood group is transfused to B blood group individual, there is antibody against the A antigen. This is the A antibody, this is the A antigen. So this A antibody will come and bind with this A antigen and it will result in clumping or hemolysis. As a result, we cannot donate A blood into a B blood group individual. Now let's come to the table. This donor A, recipient B. There is a big cross. Now we will take AB blood group as a recipient. AB blood group has both A antigen and B antigen on their red cell membrane. They do not have antibody A and antibody B in their plasma. So as a result, there is no antibody to react with the donor's A antigen. So we can say A blood group can be transfused to a AB blood group individual. Now let's come to the table. It's A donor, AB recipient. It's a big yes. Now we are going to take O blood group as a recipient blood group. O blood group do not have A and B antigen on their red cell membrane, but on the other hand, it has both the naturally occurring antibody, that is antibody A and antibody B in their plasma. So if you transfuse A blood group into a O blood group individual, then antibody A will react with the antigen of the donor's blood. This is A antigen, this is A antibody. This antibody will come and bind with this A antigen and there will be clumping. As a result, we can say A blood group cannot give blood to a O blood group individual. Now let's come to the table. A blood group cannot give blood to O blood group. So it's a B cross for it. Here we are going to take B blood group as donor blood group, and we'll see whether which blood group can receive blood from B blood group, or B blood group can donate to which blood group. Now let's take A as a recipient blood group. So it has A antigen and antibody B. If B blood group is transfused to A blood group individual, then antibody B is there to bind with the antigen of the B cell. As a result, there will be agglutination or clumping. So now let's come to the table. B blood group cannot give blood to A blood group. Now talking about B blood group as a recipient. So it's the same blood group. If you will transfuse B blood group to B blood group, there will not be any reaction, because there is no such antibody which can react with this donor's blood. Now look at the table. B blood group can be transfused to B blood group individual. So yes. Now taking AB blood group as a recipient. As there is no antibody to react, so B blood group can be safely transfused to a AB blood group individual. Now let's look at the table. Yes. So now taking O blood group as a recipient blood group. O blood group has both the antibody A and antibody B. So if you transfuse B blood group into a O blood group individual, then B antibody is there to react with the donor's blood. So as a result, there will be clumping or agglutination. So we can say B blood group cannot be transfused to a O blood group individual. So it's no. Now talking about AB blood group as a donor blood group. We are going to transfuse AB blood group into A blood group individual. If you transfuse AB blood group into A blood group individual, this B antibody is there to bind with the B antigen. So this B antibody will bind with this B antigen and it will result in clumping or agglutination. Now let's come to the table. We can say that AB blood group cannot give blood to A blood group individual. Now let's take B blood group as a recipient blood group. So if AB blood group is transfused to B blood group individual, there is A antibody to react with the A antigen on the AB blood. So again there will be clumping or agglutination. So we can say AB blood group cannot give blood to B blood group individual. It's no. Now let's take AB blood group as a recipient. AB blood is transfused to AB blood. So there is no antibody to react, and it's the same blood group, so it can be safely transfused. It's a big yes. Now let's talk about O blood group as a recipient. O blood group has both the antibodies. If you transfuse AB blood group into a O blood group individual, O blood groups individual will have both A and B antibody. Both this A and B antibody will bind with this A and B antigen of the AB blood group, and there will be Hertz reaction. As a result, agglutination or clumping. So we can say AB blood cannot be transfused to a O blood group individual. It's no. Now let's talk about O blood group as a donor blood group. First we will take A blood group as a recipient blood group. So if you will transfuse O blood group to A blood group individual, as you can see there is no antigen on the membrane of the red cell of O blood group. So there is nothing to react. If antibodies are there in the recipient's blood also, so there is no antigen to react with it. So as a result, O blood group can be safely transfused to A blood group individual. Now let's come to the table. O blood group can donate blood to A blood group. Now let's talk B blood group as recipient blood group. So if you if we will try to transfuse O blood group into a B blood group individual, the same thing. Red cells of O blood, they do not have any antigen to react with the antibody in the recipient's blood. So as a result, it can be safely transfused to B blood group. If we take AB blood group as a recipient, now let's transfuse O blood group into AB blood group. There is no antigen on the red cell membrane of O blood group individual, as well as there is no antibody in the recipient's serum or plasma. So there will not be any reaction. So as a result, we can say O blood group can be transfused to AB blood group individual safely. So it's a big yes. Now talking about O blood group as donor and O blood group as a recipient. It's same blood group, it won't react. Now let's look at the table. O blood group can donate blood to O blood group. O blood group is the universal donor. O blood group can donate blood to A blood group. O blood group can donate blood to B blood group. O blood group can donate blood to AB blood group, as well as O blood group can donate blood to O blood group. So it can donate blood to every blood group. So it's universal donor. Now let's talk about recipient. Which one can receive blood from any blood? Which blood group can receive blood from any blood group? I have told you it's AB blood group. So this is the AB blood group. It can receive blood from A blood group, B blood group, AB blood group and O blood group. So this is the universal donor and universal recipient concept, which is very important during blood transfusion. Now we are going to talk about Rh blood group system. Rh blood group system was discovered 40 years after the discovery of ABO blood group system. It is the second most important blood group system. In the year 1940, a rhesus monkey's blood was introduced into a rabbit. And after some days, the rabbit has developed antibodies. Those antibodies were against the RBC of the rhesus monkey. These antibodies from the rabbits are found to have very similar specificity with some antibodies found in the blood of some women. Those women, after the birth of one normal child, they will either deliver child who become severely jaundiced after birth, the condition which is known as hemolytic disease of newborn, in short HDN, or died before delivery and were found to have very swollen and water-filled tissues. This condition is known as hydrops fetalis. Those antibodies from the rabbit were run against the RBC of human. Then the result was shocking. Some person's RBC was clotted, but some did not clot. Then the second important blood group was discovered and named as rhesus system or Rh system. Rh system is defined by the presence or absence of a single red cell antigen, which is known as antigen D or Rh antigen. If the Rh antigen is there on the red cell membrane, then it is known as Rh positive blood. And if the Rh antigen is absent on the red cell membrane, then it is known as Rh negative blood. In the case of ABO blood group system, antigen A and B are naturally occurring, as well as antibody A and B are also naturally occurring. On the other hand, Rh blood group system, Rh antigen or antigen D is naturally occurring, but there is no naturally occurring anti-D antibody. But anti-D antibody can be produced. It is not naturally occurring. If you transfuse blood from a Rh positive individual to Rh negative individual, then anti-Rh antibody will be produced in the Rh negative individual. Because Rh negative person do not have Rh antigen or antigen D in their blood. So Rh antigen will act like foreign antigen in a Rh negative person. As a result, the immune system will produce antibody against the Rh antigen. This antibody is known as anti-D antibody or anti-Rh antibody, or it can be called as immune antibody also. In the case of blood transfusion, Rh positive blood cannot be transfused to a Rh negative individual. If you transfuse Rh positive blood into Rh negative individual, then anti-antibody will be produced which will bind with the Rh antigen and cause hemolysis. But Rh negative blood can be safely transfused to a Rh positive individual. Now combining the ABO and Rh blood group system. Now we have the basic idea of ABO blood group system and you have the basic idea of Rh blood group system. So let's combine and talk. How many blood groups are there? If you talk about only ABO system, there are 4 blood groups, which are A, B, AB and O blood group. If you talk about Rh blood group system, there are 2, Rh positive and Rh negative. But if you combine these 2, ABO and Rh blood group system, in total you will find out around 8 blood groups. Let's see, talking about the ABO system. If a person has A antigen on their red cell membrane, then the blood group is A. If a person has B antigen, then the blood group is B. If a person has both A and B antigen, then the blood group is AB. If a person has neither A nor B antigen on their red cell membrane, then it is known as O blood group. Because O group has some substances which are known as H substances. H substances or H antigens. These H substances are the precursors for A and B antigen. In case of A and B, A antigen and B antigens are formed from the H substances. Now I am going to combine the Rh system along with this ABO group. But before that, you need to remember that if Rh antigen is present, then the blood is positive. If Rh antigen is absent, then the blood is negative. So please keep in mind. So now let's combine the Rh system. If a person has A antigen along with the Rh antigen, then it is known as A positive blood. If a person has B antigen along with the Rh antigen, then it is known as B positive blood. In this case, the person has A and B antigen along with the Rh antigen, then it is known as AB positive blood. In this case, if antigen A and B are absent but Rh antigen is present, then the blood group is known as O positive. Next, if antigen A is present but Rh antigen is absent, then it is A negative blood. If B antigen is present but Rh antigen is absent, then it is known as B negative blood. If A antigen and B antigen both are present but Rh antigen is absent, then it is known as AB negative blood. If antigen A, B, Rh all are absent, then the blood group is O negative. In the case of O negative blood group, these A, B and Rh antigens are absent, but the H substance will be present. If the H substance is absent in the blood group, then it will be known as a different blood group, which is Bombay blood group. In case of Bombay blood group, H substance will be absent. Because of absence of H substance, there will not be A antigen, there will not be B antigen. It will look like O, but it is not O. O has H substance, but the Bombay blood group, it does not has H substances. Now going to talk about ABO and Rh blood group compatibility table. But before going to fill this table, you need to remember 2 things. The one is Rh compatibility, where you need to remember Rh negative blood can donate blood to Rh positive person, but Rh positive blood cannot be donated to Rh negative person. And the second one is ABO compatibility. So before filling up this table, you can check the ABO compatibility table. So you need to remember this table. Now let's move on to the ABO and Rh compatibility table. So this is the table. This is the ABO and Rh blood group compatibility table. This is the list of donors and these are the list of donors and these are the list of recipients. This table is very important for the blood transfusion. In the case of ABO compatibility, so O blood group can donate blood to any blood group and AB blood group can receive blood from any blood group. But if you combine ABO and Rh blood group systems, then things are a bit different. If you talk about O blood group, there are two. One is O positive and another is O negative. So now let's see. O positive blood can donate blood to A positive, B positive, AB positive and O positive. But it cannot donate blood to these negative blood groups because O positive has the Rh antigen and these negative blood groups are lacking of Rh antigen. So once the Rh positive antigen will be there in the negative individual, Rh negative individual, then there will be hemolysis. So O positive cannot donate blood to any negative blood groups. If you talk about O negative blood group, then it can donate blood to any blood group, all the positive blood groups and all the negative blood groups. There is absence of Rh antigen, A antigen and B antigen. In the case of AB blood group, there are two blood groups, AB positive and AB negative. If we combine ABO and Rh blood group system, AB negative blood can receive only from the negative blood groups, but AB positive can receive blood from all the blood groups. I have already mentioned you that this table is very important for blood transfusion. So for proper ABO and Rh blood group compatibility, you need to remember this table. This is all for today. Thank you for watching my video. I hope your concept about ABO and Rh blood group is now clear. And please like, share and comment. And those who are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.